Alright, welcome to Just Shit My Mom Did Part 4. Today's fucking episode, I don't even know what to call this. Is this like a podcast? Is this an episodic thing? I see, ever since I went to an audio format, I don't know how to construct a show. I called it a show now. I don't know what it is. Because when this was on, the text format on the Facebook page back in the day, oh my god, I feel like I'm sounding old now just saying the day. It was easy because I'd tell them as little stories, and I feel like when you're telling a story, it can be descriptive, and it's easier for you to maybe digest this, if you will, with your ears. I don't know how it is as a fucking regular listener. Hang on a second, I'm gonna go off in the distance. I might sound like I'm an echo or I'm really far away. That's because I am. But ever since we went to this new format, I just don't know how to go about it. Should I do it as a podcast? Should I just do these as little story times, or almost like an episodic TV show type thing? It's just really hard to come up with, direction. That's what I'm trying to go here. There's real lack of direction with what I'm trying to do. But I'm just trying to make it fun for you guys, the listeners. And if it wasn't for, you listeners, I wouldn't even be doing this thing. This honestly just started off as a one-time thing where I think I was going to do maybe parts 1, 2, and 3 and call it a day and see where that got me. But then I had so much of a feedback. When that's the best word to use, is feedback, because I always refer to you guys as my readers. I don't think I have fans or anything. Now you guys are my listeners, and the fact that there's people even here wanting to listen to my fucking stories about my mom, about growing up, it's kind of pretty cool. I think at the end of the day, though, everybody kind of watched shows like Malcolm in the Middle, or maybe they themselves had a dysfunctional childhood, and they can relate to some of these stories or some of the things I talk about because they went through them too, or they, on the other spectrum, they can't even fathom that someone had a mother like this, and that there are families out there that exist like this in fucking Canada, and it's borderline what the fuck, are you kidding me? Who would do that to somebody? I'm like, yeah, I know, I've been told it before, but this is one of the more crazier ones, because using, for example, Malcolm in the Middle like I just did, does anyone remember the episode where fucking Lois and Al like to, I don't know whether it was read the newspaper naked in the kitchen or cook fucking breakfast naked, but there's something about the mom and the dad, they were always naked. And my friends would always kind of joke oh yeah, imagine a family that did that. And I'm sitting there like the fucking guilty cat from Looney Tunes that finally just ate the fucking bird, and the fucking granny's looking oh, where's Tweety? And the cat's it's in my belly. But I didn't have my stepdad do that, or my real dad for that matter, but my mom, I don't know, maybe she wanted to be part of a nudist colony growing up. I actually have no idea, but my mom, she's always kind of beat it to her own drum, and, and by no means in any way to say she was not a weird, toxic mom is an understatement, because she would fucking strut around naked in the middle of summertime, just she's it's too hot, and she would just fucking, it's middle the day, walking around with the blinds open, and my mom just strutting around the house naked. It was what the fuck? And she just couldn't even go in her room and be naked and want to sleep on her bed or something. She would sleep on the couch, in the living room. So it's you can't even have your friends come over and play video games or whatever the fuck, right? Because your mom's gonna be fucking naked on the couch. Nobody's mom fucking does that. It's what the fuck? So I had a childhood best friend who lived on my street. His name is Chris. He actually has the same name as the fucking rapper. I can actually say it because his name's Chris Brown. Even if you go to look this guy up, you'll find 100 Chris Browns. Shit. So the best part about my buddy Chris was he had a PlayStation 1, I had N64. Between the two of us, we could either go to whoever's house to play whatever games. You want to do Mario Party or Smash Brothers or Pokemon Snap, Legend of Zelda, boom, that was my place. But if we wanted to play Twisted Metal, that Small Soldiers, I don't know if anyone remembers Small Soldiers, that was that movie about the toys that came to life. The Gorgonites and the Commandos fought each other over supremacy. There was a video game of that on the PlayStation back in the day. It was fucking fun. We used to play fucking Metal Gear, Metal Gear Solid 1, Twisted Metal. There was a couple other games Chris had, Banjo, or not Banjo, sorry, Bandicoot, yeah, the Bandicoot. I never played PlayStation, and I didn't play Banjo-Kazooie. So sorry if I'm gonna get those guys mixed up. I literally did never play the games. Sue me. But yeah, Chris had some good ones like Spyro as well. Like those were the games people had. It was sweet back then. So you can imagine what it's like one day when you and your friend are bored of playing PlayStation, and you want to go run over to your house to go play some N64 and maybe play some 4-player fucking multi-team up, whatever the fuck. So all I remember is getting to my house, and it's literally like 4 or 5 houses down from my neighbor Chris's house. My front door was left like wide open because my mom in the summertime always just had the front door wide open, just couldn't open up the back door, and just like that. She always had to open up the front door to like let the house cool down instead of just open up a fucking window like a human being. Like who leaves their front door wide open? My mom. So we waltz right in, and my mom is just sitting on the couch watching TV, butt fucking naked, just probably strung out on weed. Like, I'm just gonna say strung out on weed because I love that. Like, who's actually literally ever been strung out on marijuana? My mom. And next thing I know, my mom is obviously, one, embarrassed for being caught fucking naked on the couch, and I have a friend come over. But of all things, because like me and my friend just instantly turn around to walk out of the house, my mom is screaming and yelling at us, fucking pervert, and I'm like, she's literally getting mad at us for her being naked. It's like, man, put some fucking clothes on, or at least wear a fucking bathing suit in the house, like a normal fucking human being. Like, I don't know, I don't know I've never had any of my friends' moms literally just be waltzing around the house naked. I've literally never even seen one, like, out of all the years being at my friend's house, never once saw their mom's ass, boob, a little bit more leg than I should have, none of that stuff, normal, appropriate fucking friend mom behaviors. But not my mom, my buddy Chris, he got to see the whole package. And I think if you would ask him today, he probably has buyer's remorse, you know what I mean? He got a little bit more than he bargained for that day, coming over to my house. And we've talked about it. Oddly, this is one of the few times where my witness who was there, he doesn't remember this story. Good, I don't blame him in any way, but he remembers shit like that happening, and he said he's like, yeah, your mom was weird, and I do remember you like mentioning your mom was naked all the time. Same, like, he knew my brother as well. We'd all play together, but it sucks because it's the one of the few times where it's an alibi that's not a family member who was there for it, and they just, mentally blocked it out. But, if there's a mental roadblock there, I'm not going to be the police officer to metaphorically say, hey, can I get you to pull over here for a second? I got to jog your memory. So either way, it's been good knowing you guys, good chatting you guys. I'll meet you fucking next time as we go down part 5, and we dive deeper into my childhood growing up. And if you guys like exploring my past as much as I do, hit me up on the fucking, I'm just kidding, I don't have some kind of, I was going to say, Patreon and make us some way for you guys to give me money, but we're not at that point right now. I don't think anyone wants to pay for my stories, and if anyone was going to pay for a story, I'd do like an Audible book or something, you know what I mean? Like, either that or I'd write an actual book. Like, if I were to sell a book, I would hope it would sell well, but, that's what everybody who writes a book, they want it to sell well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, shit. I would love to have a book of all these things my mom did, written out the way how to put it, originally wrote them out too. Like, I find when I'm writing, I get a little bit more time to think of descriptive words and not just throw it off the top of my head. Like, I am actually technically multitasking right now. I'm doing stuff with my hands while talking right now. So it does make my left and right side of my brain probably have to do more work than it should, opposed to when I'm just sitting on the couch taking half an hour to tell this 9-minute fucking story. You know what I mean? There's a little bit different. Sometimes these stories take me an hour when I'm writing and typing them out, just because I, want the best descriptive word or something, you know what I mean? I can't do that here. I just don't want to. For example, like, if I were to stop and think of like a good word to say every time it came up on my mind, there'd probably be like 3 to 5 seconds of dead, quiet silence air time. Do you want to hear what fucking 10 seconds of silence sounds like? See, that wasn't even 10 seconds, and that was still fucking awkward and lame to listen to. So, yeah, that's why I just go to the easiest style of storytelling when I'm doing these audio formats. I'm really not even used to doing it, too. It's like I just have a little cliff notes on the side, and I found out on part 3, when I go to check my cliff notes, if I open that thing up, it closes my recording file, so I lose my audio. So I can't actually check my notes unless I write them down beforehand. and I have them just on the side. So I don't know. It's always a work in progress with this show. But join me fucking next week as we go into fucking part 5 and we explore more memories. I think part 5 might be the time I thought I accidentally cut my penis off. So, hiya.